Chile is holding its most divisive presidential election in decades this weekend. The nation is still reeling from social unrest 2 years ago. Joel Richards looks at how the protests are affecting this vote.
Chile's capital, Santiago, still bears the scars of the social upheaval from 2 years ago. Where once stood an emblematic statue of a 19th century war hero, General Manuel Baquedano, now it is a monument to the demonstrations.
This was ground zero for the protests that erupted in 2019 and which became the most prolonged and intense period of social unrest that this country had seen in decades. Now, as a result of those protests, Chile is rewriting its social contract.
The central demand of the protests was for a new constitution to replace the one that dates back to General Augusto Pinochet's rule. Elected representatives are now canvassing public opinion to determine how Chileans want the new constitution to look.
We are writing the constitution in a unique context. It is the first constitution to be written in the context of a climate crisis. That will change how the final document looks. But also, we are the first constitutional process that will be written with gender parity, 50% women and 50% men. And for feminist activists, it is a unique opportunity.
The new constitutional process will take months to complete. For many Chileans, their concerns are urgent. Immigration, crime and the highest inflation in 13 years are among their chief concerns. And so too the country's ongoing political uncertainty. Outgoing President Sebastián Piñera avoided impeachment this week, and Chileans head to the polls this weekend in a polarised presidential election. The campaign has seen leftist Gabriel Boric, a 35-year-old former student leader, and far-right José Antonio Cast surge to the front. A recent survey conducted by the Centre of Public Studies suggests most Chileans do not want major change in their country, but candidates from outside traditional centrist parties have gained ground.
The problem in Chile is that we have a huge lack of legitimacy of political parties. People do not trust the parties, they think they do not represent people's demand. We're in kind of a critical juncture now, and I hope we kind of regain our institutional journey.
Chile is still processing the demonstrations from 2 years ago. Presidential elections and a new constitution will decide a new direction for the country long considered South America's economic success story. Joel Richards for CGTN in Santiago.